Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. Liverpool just drawn with Manchester United at Old Trafford. I'm disappointed, to be honest with you. I think that, we started the game really well. It looked like we were dominating the ball. It looked like we were having our way with Manchester United. We started into that game like we were playing for something more than just 3 points at Old Trafford. And I think that's obvious. Liverpool are playing for something more than just 3 points at Old Trafford. We are playing for this Premier League title. And we started really well. That first couple of minutes, that indirect free kick in their area. And it felt like we were going to go on and do something really special there, didn't it? But unfortunately, it didn't kind of play out that way. We dominated the ball first half. We had probably the better opportunities, maybe first half, although Alisson makes that one wonderful save, and it can't be underestimated just how important that one was. I think everybody knows how good Alisson has been, and I think over the last couple of weeks there's been a couple of grumblings about his play with the ball at his feet and blah blah, but ultimately he's in there to make saves like that. He's in there to save us and make sure that we're still in games, and that's what he did there today. That save's worth a point on its own. Ultimately, I think we go behind. Do we ever recover from that? Manchester United did really well with the substitutions that they were enforced to make. 3 substitutions really early on in that game, and you're thinking to yourself, well, Liverpool going to be able to get this later on in the game, but it didn't really play out like that. The longer the game went on, the more confident Manchester United became. I think they nullified Liverpool's threats really well. We ended up with so many crosses from that right hand side with James Milner, and you start to think to yourself, this is all we've got. Is that it? We tried first half to get those 1-2s working and stuff, but ultimately we just weren't there. It wasn't just as snappy as it's been over sort of the last few months and stuff. And we've seen time and time again that Liverpool can play incredible football when they are, on point and everybody's passing and it's crisp. But we kind of ran out of ideas, to be honest with you. I think the Roberto Firmino substitution really doesn't help us in any way, shape or form. I found it a little bit surprising that, it was Daniel Sturridge that was brought on. I thought maybe Shaqiri could have been brought on for Firmino. Maybe move Salah into that number 9 place and put Shaqiri on the right-hand side. Or if you want to play Keita over on the left, move Mane to the right and play Salah up top. But it's not the way that it worked out, unfortunately for us. It's one of those games, isn't it, where I think, if that had gone on a little bit longer, you fancy Manchester United to probably go and win that game, unfortunately. And I think, they did nullify our threats really well. I think Rashford was a good player for them first half. I think, Pogba played all right, but ultimately Luke Shaw got man of the match because Luke Shaw was absolutely superb against Mo Salah. It's not often you see in a game of that magnitude someone like Mo Salah being brought off, but I think it was probably the right substitution, to be honest with you. He was having absolutely nothing out of Luke Shaw all day long, and we just couldn't really create enough opportunities. Our passing and decision making in the final third was poor. It's not the first time we've said that this season. We can still do this. Of course we can still do this. Manchester City are a great side. We're now top of the table on our own right. That's our game in hand. It was must, and I said this a few times, it was must not lose this game of football, and we didn't lose. You see, I think frustration was becoming evident towards the end of the game. Everybody wanting. I was watching it with Cal Freese and Sue Geordie and Loscast over on the Kickoff channel, and everybody wanted Liverpool to attack. And I think the fact that Liverpool didn't attack in those last 2 minutes tells you 2 things. One, Manchester United dealt with our attack really well. When good players decide to play low block, it becomes very difficult to break that down. We fell foul of that today, and ultimately number 2, we didn't want to lose what we got. Linesman makes 3 really good decisions today. They were all offside. But one of them, where Joel Matip puts it into the back of the net, I really felt like that was onside, until I watched it back. And, Liverpool play that line and it's risky sometimes, but ultimately we were brilliant again. It's very difficult one to judge that because it was so important. The magnitude of this game was absolutely ridiculous almost. And we went there, we played well at Old Trafford. I'd say we did dominate the ball, we didn't create enough opportunities, but ultimately we got a point, and that's all that kind of matters. We're back on top of this Premier League. It's in our hands, nobody else can say that. That's that's the toughest game, hopefully out the way now. Manchester United away, a Manchester United side that are playing incredibly well under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Manchester United side that wanted to dent and hurt our title chances more than anything. They'll have wanted this win to put one over on us. They don't want us getting another league title. They don't want us getting a Premier League title, and we were able to, get away with it, get out of there with 1 point, and that's really important in this game, and it can't be understated. We're back on top, but we do need to play better in these games. We need to find a way where we can break down these sides when they do play low block, because Liverpool are a good side now. In fact, we're a great side now. And what happens when you're a great side is more and more teams decide to play low block against you. And if you are playing low block, then you need to find a way to work your way through that. And unfortunately, we didn't have somebody there driving on from midfield. You know, I thought it would have been a nice game for someone like Naby Keita today, picking the ball up, slaloming through, trying to beat players. I mean, through that congested middle of the park, rather than just keep on trying over and over again with James Milner down the right hand side. You know, we saw that a little bit towards the end of the game with Robertson, but it felt like he was really sort of a non-factor going forwards for most of the first half. Got into it. You know, there was obviously the talking point of Henderson when he came off as well. You know, didn't look like he shook Shaqiri's hand. That's a little bit disappointing. You want your captain going on there, wishing the next player who comes in good luck, and we didn't see that today. Whether that is a talking point or not, we'll find out in the fullness of time. But you know, again, I say it again, you know, ultimately Liverpool got out of there with a point. We're back on top in this Premier League. We need to play better. Of course we need to play better. Nobody's sitting here saying that was the best Liverpool. That was not a good performance from Liverpool. Not in the attacking third. Nowhere near. But that's our hardest game of the season and we got a point. Yeah, big nervous game of football that for me. I'll tell you what, I mean, I where I was watching it, I couldn't hear the noise inside Old Trafford. Somebody just mentioned it on the comments then. It looked like from the videos that the camera angles when we were seeing the fans, you know, we were singing probably their normal chants of United and how many times they've won the league and all that type of stuff. But I guess it was really loud, and I guess that it was a good performance because of that. I'd really have liked to have seen that and heard those fans. I'd like to have been there myself, of course. I wasn't able to get a ticket again, but you know what? A point, Old Trafford, top of the league, just a few games to go, more than you think. I think both teams are going to drop points. So is Manchester City. Tottenham dropped points yesterday, so we gained a point on them. But ahead of Manchester City, we can do this, but it's going to be nervous. It's going to be so difficult between now and the end of the season, and we've just got to strap in and try and enjoy the ride as best we can. If you've enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe to Redmen TV on YouTube. I've got a train to catch back to Liverpool. I'm going to enjoy that train. I'm going to switch off from football for a few hours before I get to watch the game back later. Can't wait to get in the studio and see what the rest of the lads think of that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.